Man, I get goosebumps seeing all those 5-star reviews at the end there. Hello, welcome. Seymour here, founder, CEO of MAGFAST. We're live on a Saturday. Don't do that too often, but we're in the middle of this big run up to next week on February the 14th. We're just going to do a little fun where we're going to do some, if you want to invest in the company, do a little bonus. And we promise to do some live broadcasts around that time. We're also working up towards this date here, March the 30th, which is our huge new product launch. We're very excited about. You are invited. If you're here now, if you registered for the last event, you're automatically invited for that. It's going to be really big. We have something just extraordinary and unusual to show you. And we can't wait. And I think it's just under 7 weeks. Let's bring in Kate. It's just under 7 weeks from now, I think, isn't it, Kate? March the 30th? 6.5 weeks or something?
Yep. Very exciting.
Very good. So I'm just changing one of my controls here. Let's get rid of that behind me. There we go. How are you today?
I am wonderful. I'm very excited to be here. And thank you all for being here as well. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, joining us live on a Saturday or watching the broadcast later. So we'll do again. I mentioned just now there's the investment thing going on next week. For anyone who's interested, we'll spend a few minutes on that at the end. But this is really what we said we would do after Thursday's big event, is on yesterday, Friday, today, Saturday. We would just kind of lift the lid on one or two of the things that we did, and we showed you, I think, some pretty cool stuff yesterday. And today we have a couple of guests. One of whom was in late night they call it bumped. If there's a guest who's due to be there and then gets bumped, but I think there was some self-bumping going on, because it wasn't self-bumping, but there was a technology bump happened yesterday. But I think this is going to be really great. So who are our guests today, Kate?
Well, we have the lovely and talented Steve Barnes with us today. Hi, Steve.
Hello. I'm just hoping to make it to the couch with Johnny tonight.
Very good. You can already. He's lovely and talented. You'll find out about the talented in just a minute, but already 50% proven. And who else?
Yeah. And the amazing Michael Mataluni. Hi, Michael.
Hey,
John
guys.
Mataluni.
Great to be here. How's everybody doing today?
But very good. We have quite a geographic spread. Let's see where everyone's in from. Kate, as we know, is in Austin. One of the global tech epicenters. I mean, it really is now Austin, isn't it? One of the global tech epicenters.
Yeah, it really is.
Booming.
I'm in New York, which is another one. And our guests come in from Steve. From where?
Granville, Ohio. Yet another tech center, global tech center.
Famously so. And Mikey.
I'm from Orlando, Florida, so I'm coming in at about 75 degrees today. So it's going to be a fantastic flight.
Nice. Nice.
That's crazy. So I mean, we were thinking of having these guys in. Well, originally Steve was going to be yesterday and Mike was going to be today, so they were naturally going to be kind of in separate segments. And then we were going to do separate segments today. We thought, actually, why don't we get everybody in together? Everybody knows everybody. We'll work together. But what's cool is that Mike has very specific expertise in. And if you're not in business, digital marketing sounds like, yeah, but it's actually pretty fascinating when Mike starts to talk about it. And it is essentially the engine that drives, it kind of drives the internet these days, doesn't it? Steve, meanwhile, is a kind of an uber expert in what is loftily called intellectual property. But you know them better as kind of patents and trademarks. And it's also, sounds a little dry, is actually fascinating in the hands of this man. So I thought if we get you both in together, neither of you are experts in the others, and you can help us kind of extract the maximum value. What do you think? Yeah,
I love it.
Sounds
very good. So, eeny, meeny, miny. All right. So let's start with let's put Steve in the hot seat first of all. By the way, for folks who were here yesterday when we couldn't get a connection to you, what was the single difference between yesterday and today that we now have a connection to you? Just so folks learn.
I have a hardwired connection to my router rather than using Wi-Fi.
Right. Very, very, very simple. It's such a simple thing to do. Almost everybody can do it. Most of us don't do it, but it was just we struggled for 2 hours yesterday and couldn't get the connection. So thank you for going to do that. Your connection is immaculate now.
I'm glad.
So let's talk about it. I mean, everyone's heard of trademarks and patents, and maybe not the phrase intellectual property, but I think most people have heard of trademarks and patents. You see the little TM or the R beside a name sometimes. Sometimes you see in the small print, patent pending, that kind of thing. So let's in sort of layman's terms, let's unpack it and let's understand why it's important and why as a company MAGFAST has taken the trouble to do so much work on it.
Well, I'm gonna talk about three different things, but first I want to say that Seymour and I have been working together for 7 or 8 years, and we've built this intellectual property portfolio. And I used to work for a Fortune 100 company, and I honestly think we work as hard and as strategically, maybe even more so than I did on intellectual property when I was inside a Fortune 100 company. So I'm here to talk about really three parts of intellectual property. There's utility patents, design patents, and then trademarks. And I've got something to show. So this is the box for life. And what we have here is a trademark, MAGFAST. And that's a registered trademark. And then we have a common law trademark, life. So we didn't think we could get that registered. So we consider that a trademark and we're willing to enforce it. But here on the front, you can see.
I'm not sure that it's going to matter, but you're actually back to front at the moment, Steve. I think there's a back to front button. If you can easily access it, flip it back. It'll be in your camera settings. It probably says mirror my video or something.
Okay, well, let's.
If you
I don't think that's going to happen.
But on the cover of that box, we also had what we showed a utility patent and something that's utility patented, and that short cord on top has a design patent application. So I'm going to switch over here and share my screen.
This will be good. All right.
All right, let's see.
So while he's getting his screen up and running, so three things. We've got trademarks, which Steve held up, and you can see the trademark big on the screen there. Actually, the word MAGFAST with a little R beside it, that's a trademark.
Yes.
All right. Then we talk about patents. Well, in specific, two types: utility, which is kind of how stuff works, and design, which is how it looks. And the only reason I'm saying that, Steve, was just to fill in while you were getting your screen up and running. But you're up and running now, so let's hand it back to you.
We're all good now? All right, so we've got utility patents, which you can see in the lower right-hand corner, and that's life. That's what I was showing you before. And there's a utility patent on the small box that you see there, and how it connects, how it interconnects to the wall unit or to other devices within the MAGFAST family. So utility patents.
Sorry, Steve. There's actually two images in the lower right-hand side of the screen.
Yes. The farthest right and farthest lowest is a utility patent, and then the one next to it is MAGFAST Air, and we have a design patent on the ornamental features of that.
Right, and I just want to point out to people coming across on your screen now, the one on the right is quite a bit fainter, but it is a very detailed patent drawing. It's just the lines are a bit thinner on it and so on. But if you look in that lower right-hand corner, you can see that there's actually a very detailed diagram, and it is of MAGFAST Life, the box for which we held up. Held up a bit earlier on. So I just wanted to point that out, Steve, because I didn't even notice it for a minute on my screen here.
Okay, sorry about that. So the utility patent gives the inventor or the owner the right to exclude others from making their invention. So no one can come along and make a life device that has that magnetic interconnection between different pieces within a family of chargers.
Cool.
And if they do, we get to sue them and send them cease and desist letters and be very angry. And it's a very unfortunate process, and I hope we don't have to do it. I did that as a baby lawyer, and it's a terrible, terrible thing.
But that's amazing. I mean, the idea that we have, the magnetic connection patented between our family of devices, it's really extraordinary. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I remember, what was it, 7 years ago? Seymour showed me that. And there are 4 or 5 times in my career as an intellectual property attorney where I've really gone, huh, wow, that's really something I've never seen before. It's not, it's, it's building upon a basic charger, but it is completely different from anything that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That's great.
and just to be clear, we haven't patented magnets, right? Other people are allowed to use magnets,
Yes.
right? But what we have is the notion of a system, right, where individual items magnetically connect to the base station, right?
Yep. Or to
we
any
have
other, if
Yeah.
we take life and extreme and connect them, that magnetic connection is also covered. Or if you take life and turn it sideways and connect it to the back of air right next to it, that is also protected.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
it's the sort of interconnected. To keep it in simple terms, it's not just it's the notion of a system that all interconnect,
Yes.
not just a connection. So if someone comes up with a thing that just does one, that's been going on for years. But it's the interconnected nature of it that Steve brilliantly has managed to secure a patent, and it's quite a shiny looking thing. The main patent. I can actually maybe we can put it up on the screen quickly there, Philip. This is what it looks like. Modular charging system and wall-mounted charging device for modular power devices. US issued number 10,931,127. Granted, coming up on 3 years now, isn't it? No, hang on. What are we 2023? Coming up on 2 years in a few days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should have a party.
We should.
And just to let you know, when I was a baby lawyer, we were working on patents in the 4 millions back in the early 90s. So there's been a lot of inventing since then.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. All right,
That's
so
so
utility patent. We have a pretty great one, a pretty strong one for the utility of how MAGFAST stuff works, how it all plugs together.
Yes.
All right. But then there's also this thing called design, and utility patents are, would it be fair to say, the most coveted type of patent?
They are the hardest to get, but the older I get, the more I understand the power of a design patent. And Apple has pretty well taken the design patent from something that is sort of an afterthought to a very, very important part of intellectual property, because they spend so much work on the design. And I think they've influenced not only the electronics industry, but they've influenced intellectual property protection as well.
So design patents more and more important. We have, by the way, in utility, I believe we have two. I actually have a slide for it. Is it worth putting the slide up? No, it's not worth putting it up. Well, yeah, I'll put it up. If I put it up, is it worth putting it up? I don't know. What do you think?
There are a bunch. If anybody wants to know what they are, they can email me.
All right. Look, here we go. Utility patents that we have, 2 issued and 2 pending. Right. So we have 2 like the one I put on the screen just now that are actually issued, done, and the others, it's very slow process. The others are working their way through.
Yes.
Now in design patents, boom. All right, we have 3 issued, I think it is, and 3 pending. Is that right, Steve?
I believe so. If that's the number I gave you yesterday, that is the correct number.
Good. So let's talk about what a design patent is. You've explained that it was a kind of it was sort of the lesser child, kind of a decade or 2 ago.
Yes.
But now is an extremely important part of the portfolio. Yes.
Yes. And a design patent is similar to a utility patent, except it protects the visual or ornamental features. So the way ours has the notch at the bottom, or the ledge at the bottom, and how it leans back a little bit.
We're talking about
those are important features, and they protect the beauty of a product. There's something about holding a nice thing in your hand and feeling the quality and the thought that went into the design. And that's what a design patent does. And our Air product, other people can make cordless chargers, people can make cradles for chargers. But what we have is really something special. If you take it and you have it sitting on your desk next to you, or you put it on top of the wall unit and you walk in and you just set it, you walk into your kitchen and set your phone there. And it's so handy to be able to put it there, still be able to use it, have it charge, and and it is magnetically connected to either the wall
Right.
unit or to Life or to Extreme.
So it has been,
And
in
all
fact,
those things are-
Philip, could you just put, because we have the limited edition Black Air that we're doing as part of the investment program over the next few days. Can you put that up on the screen? I think did I share that out? Yeah. So there's the same product in black, and that shape, that design, nobody else can make something that is substantially like that, right? It's quite something. Quite something.
Yeah, it's
And
absolutely
then
beautiful.
the last one here, but kind of first in our heart, is trademarks. And a trademark is a name or symbol that identifies the source of goods. So it's utility and design patents protect the inventor. Trademarks are really meant to protect the customer. Because when I go to buy a Coke, I walk in, I see a Coke, I buy a Coke based on my long-term addiction to Coca-Cola, and I walk out with it. If someone else rips off the Coca-Cola trademark, I'm the one who's damaged. Coca-Cola is also damaged, but I mean, I think Coca-Cola is the most valuable trademark in the world, and they spend a lot of time and effort promoting it and protecting it. And our trademarks are just as important to us as the Coca-Cola marks are to the Coca-Cola Corporation. And I'm going to switch to the next slide here. And this is just a trademark map. And the countries in green are countries where we have trademark protection. I believe
Oh, wow.
Coca-Cola has trademark protection in every country. We have to husband our resources. So we went through and we thought a lot about population size, cost of trademark applications, GDP or personal wealth of those countries. And we went through and we had a week-long discussion about where we should follow or where we should file these trademarks. And the MAGFAST name is the one that's in most of these countries. But then we also have the MAGFAST logo, which it was on the front page, that sort of block type logo.
Yep.
We have the Circle M logo, which was on the last page. We have Lux, which is on all of the cables. We have Fingerprint, which is on the back of all of our chargers.
And critically on the packaging as well, right? Because you can scan the outside of the packaging and confirm authenticity, on authenticity there, and it's on all the products that have the space for it. Fingerprint, the fingerprint, the fingerprint that looks like a fingerprint,
Yep.
is on every product that has the physical space for it. The cables don't, but they have what we call a fingerprint URL. They have an individual URL that you can type in and get the same information as you would do by scanning. Sorry, I should say information. Get the same information, get the same reassurance, get the same services. And as we announced 48 hours ago, it's also going to be part of the referral program. So you can see on any of your products, you can type that in, and if you have a friend who's interested in MAGFAST, you can kind of refer them in and get various benefits for doing so. So fingerprint is huge, and only we're allowed to use it in that context, right, Steve?
Right. And then
So
we have
cool.
LED-licious, which is the lighting system on the front of our power units. And then we have global power. And then we also have two logos, PD Power Delivery, and one is purely horizontal and one is stacked.
Yeah. And just to, I'll give you a little kind of sort of insider secret. So PD Power Delivery is an industry standard that we have, like all good manufacturers, we have adopted, but it didn't have any sort of presence, any sort of marketing juice to it. So we've prepared a logo that you'll see on all of our products for PD Power Delivery, And it's, I don't have one. Do I have one that I can quickly get up on screen? I don't think I have. You know what? Can you, Philip? Can you go to the camera, my above camera here, quickly for a second? Maybe we can. Yeah, here we go. So here's PD power delivery. So that's what Steve's talking about there, and that showing PD power delivery in that format. It's a kind of logo format. Thank you, Philip. That's we're the only folks who are able to do that. Thanks to Steve's great work. Yeah.
Well, that
Thank you.
one's not registered yet, so we're not writing any cease and desist letters yet. But soon.
It's working its way through the process.
Yes, it is. All right.
Cool.
Now we're
I
gonna
have a
go.
quick question, Steve. Can I get a quick question? Just from just from an investor's point of view, really taking a deep dive look into the trademarks that we have, and all of the intellectual property, including design patent and utility patent. What if I'm an investor? What am I thinking about here? Why is this valuable for the company? And then why would this be valuable for me as an investor investing in MAGFAST?
Well, for the company, our patents, our utility patents, our design patents, and our trademarks are the business. There is another part of the business that designs and manufactures and ships these things, but they are co-equal sides of the equation that is MAGFAST. Because if we didn't have fabulous design and fabulous utility, and quite frankly, a great trademark, we would just be another power delivery company, and there are hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And in a previous presentation, Seymour had a slide that had a graph that had value and system, and there are hundreds of small brands that no one's ever heard of, and you buy them. They're the cheapest thing on Amazon, and if you want out to buy the cheapest thing on Amazon, you go to someone that slaps their name on something that is, designed and manufactured in China, and they're all sold the same. What all of our intellectual property is what takes us from that low value, low margin brand and elevates us into that upper right quadrant of high value, high margin. And when I'm buying a company, whether I'm not buying any companies whole, but I own part of MAGFAST, and the main reason I want to own MAGFAST stock is because we are separated from all the chaff that is in the market. We are in that upper right quadrant. We are more profitable. We are better known. We are just better all around, and people are willing to pay for that. And
Can I just calibrate what Steve just said? We are laying the foundations to be more profitable and so on with all of these things. MAGFAST, like many, we said in the presentation the other, most companies when they go public aren't profitable. Yeah. We're not yet, but all of this stuff is laying the foundations to be able to charge a premium, which we are successfully doing for our products. And this was the graph that Steve was talking about. You've got one or two brands, we put Belkin and Anchor and so on are in here, Duracell, one or two brands that you recognize, but zillions of people who you do not. So our play is to say, look, we're going to do this. We're going to do the ecosystem by having everything snapping together, which is patent protected. Other people can have systems of some kind, but they can't do what we're doing. So we have, so we have an area of this that only we're allowed to be in for a while. Then surround that with a strong brand, and I just want to make this distinction about brand, because we touched on it on Thursday. The brand is a word that is kind of thrown around quite a lot, but we believe that what it means is the way people feel about you, right? So it's every part of the way the way you kind of touch the customer. So the way that Kate and the team respond in customer care, that's part of the brand, right? And they work like crazy, and they do an unbelievable job. And it always makes me cry when we get someone who goes, "Oh, they didn't reply to my email." It's like, no, we reply to emails all the. Your email must have gone to spam, because it's such an important part of the brand that we're responsive in that way. But the name MAGFAST, of course, up here, right? And the logo, that's the thing that kind of encapsulates it all. And everything that we do is designed that when you see and hear that name, it should elicit those feelings in the same way that most people have a set of feelings that they would attach to name any big brand. You have feelings that you attach to McDonald's. You have feelings that you attach to Apple. You have feelings that you attach to name anything, Adidas. Name any great brand, and building that brand is critical. And few electronics companies, like most of these companies here, they don't bother to do that. So Steve's work is kind of a cornerstone of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Michael can confirm from the marketing side that when people have a brand that they recognize and trust, it's a hell of a lot easier to ask them to come and take a look at your new product.
Absolutely.
Steve, that's a fantastic summary. Are there any other distinctions that you want to make? Quickly? Yeah, let's run through the rest of the slides.
Okay. I've got the next slide up.
Great. Philip, let's
So
make it full
here's-
screen because it's a little faint. Let's make it full screen if we can, please. Thank you.
So here are sort of our three silos that we use in protecting things. And, I call them silos, but they all interconnect. And on the left-hand side, we've got the system. And the first patent that issued protected that system. And it shows that is our wall unit there in the middle. And then on top is air. And then on the bottom is life. So we've got, that just shows how we interconnect. And then we have individual patents on the power blocks. So each individual power unit has, the way they connect, the way the cable is integral. And what we're showing here, we have a design patent on that short cable.
Yeah.
And then our third silo is accessories. And they are the bits that can be like MAGFAST Air and Time. And those are the pieces that can connect to either the power blocks or to the top of the system. So you can charge your phone wirelessly, or you can charge your watch wirelessly. And you just walk in and there sits your MAGFAST Time and it's ready for you. And it welcomes
Fantastic.
you.
It welcomes you.
All right. So in summary, we have trademarks. That's the brand. That's the name. That's the little R in a circle that you see around the place. The one that Steve hasn't said out loud is the unbelievable trademark that we've secured for the product that we're launching on March the 30th. You can bring us back on screen, please, Philip. Yeah. So March the 30th, we've got the kind of the big presentation coming up. Called We Love Travel, and that's why I'm in front of a beach scene at the moment. We're trying to elicit good feelings about travel. Oh, by the way, Katie, remind me before we switch over to Mikey, we need to talk about secret words today because we're still doing those and we forgot to set those up at the beginning.
Yes.
Steve, right? So trademarks, then utility patents protect like the way stuff works, right?
Right.
And design patents protect
The ornamental design, the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You've got how things work, and then you've got the beauty of things. And luckily, we design beautiful things that work deliciously together. So it's it's a very interesting portfolio to work with and to manage.
Fantastic. Steve has been with us forever as part of our team, but it isn't a full-time gig. And Philip, could we just put this banner up, my slide up here, because Steve, as you can tell, is top tier smart and knows everything about this, and is available if you have a project. If you need to work on a patent or a trademark, utility, design patent, they can get in touch with you at Barnes LLC, right?
SW Barnes at Barnes LLC. And there is no E in Barnes.
There is not. So
we got on the boat as Barnes.
So it's SW, BARNS, SW Barnes at barnesllc.com. .com, and I think we're 10 years in this together or something, aren't we, Steve? Or
It's
9 or
been a long
something.
time.
It's been a long time. So we love Steve, and we.
I remember Hudson at 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh. I bet she was so cute.
Yeah.
She is my favorite she's my favorite person I'm not related to.
I feel like she has an effect on everyone.
In case he doesn't know, anyone doesn't know, he speaks of our Amy's and my teenage daughter, who's now so grown up, she's banned from using the internet while this broadcast is going on, because we think it was her gaming that interfered with the signal on Thursday during the big broadcast. All right, Steve, can you stay with us while we talk to Michael? Maybe you can ask him a few.
I'd be happy to. I want to learn how to do digital marketing.
All right. So before we do that, Kate, take us through the secret word, please.
Yes. So we are going to have, you can see there's one up on the screen right now. We're going to have 3 secret words throughout this broadcast. And every time you see that secret word, you go to magfast.com/welovetravel and you will enter it. It'll say, like today's, it'll say, what's the date? February 11th, secret word 123. And then you will get entries into our March 30th prize draw, which will get you 250,000 flight miles, which is absolutely.
This is sort of it's shocking, really, people, isn't it? Shocking. But yeah, 250,000. That's 250,000 air miles, which is enough to go pretty much anywhere on the planet. And in some style. We're super excited to do that. There'll be other prizes and other things as well, but do that now. If by the end of today, because here's the thing, you're smart for being here today, because lots and lots of folks came on Thursday, but yesterday and today are kind of quieter days, right? Slightly smaller audience, but because you're here today, if you get the 3 secret words today, and yesterday and the day before, that's 9, and then you originally registered to be here. So if you stay the course, you've already got 10 entries into that draw, 10 times the chance of many people who just registered and only got the 1 chance. And there will be more chances coming in the weeks ahead, right? So open your email.
Is it one entry per word, or is it
one entry per word?
Okay.
Right, and one for registering for this series of events the other day. So we're excited about that. More to come on March the 30th in the weeks ahead. As I say, stay close to your email. Open your email. Click on the links if we text you. It's going to be a doozy. Everybody in the room here has seen what we're showing, but not everybody even in the company has seen what we're showing, and it's pretty great.
Amazing. Before we move on, I want to say the first secret word, just in case anyone out there isn't looking at their screen or they're listening or whatever. So the first secret word, I'm going to whisper it. It's customization. Okay, can y'all hear that? Customization.
That's customization. Right?
Customization.
Yes. Secret word number 1. Now go to magfast.com/welovetravel and enter it right now.
magfast.com/welovetravel. All right.
Are Michael and I eligible for this drawing?
No.
Unfortunately not.
Because if you are, I am. I want to win.
All right. So let's talk about what Michael does now. So it's kind of like, Michael drives the internet, and Steve kind of protects what's there when you get there. It's maybe a kind of shortcut way of describing it. So Mikey, when we were kids, all right, advertising consisted of, and my first job when I left university in the UK, my first job was as what Steve was talking about when he was a baby lawyer. I was like a baby ad exec or something, I guess. I was incredibly bad at it as well. It's fair to say. On LinkedIn, when people can do like job recommendations, or they can do professional recommendations for other people, and I've never solicited those, so I don't have very many. But I have one from a guy called Tim Parker, who was my boss back, I guess it was in the early 80s, in my first job in advertising. And he said, And it says something like, Seymour was categorically the worst account executive in advertising in London at the time, but 30 years later, we're still good mates. And I think he's fantastic, or something like that. It's just it's the warmest, nicest possible
Slight in
shade that has ever been thrown.
That's
but
funny.
anyway, but back in those days, it was all about an ad was like we'd make an ad, with a headline and a picture and some copy or whatever, and then we'd send it to a magazine or a newspaper and they would publish it. Or at great expense, we would rent a studio for our clients. We would rent a studio and shoot an ad on film that had to go off to a lab to be developed. And we'd make a 30-second commercial or something. And then that 30-second commercial in the UK, you maybe have to have 15 copies of it made for the different regions. Here in the US, of course, hundreds of different markets, and then copies of the ad would be made and they'd be put on a motorcycle, if you can imagine, and someone would drive all the way the length of the UK, up to the northeast or whatever, and deliver a 30-second commercial on a roll of film, and then it would be shown on the television stations. All right, and then there's obviously there's others, but this still exists, but it's not the game anymore, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean, we've the transformation of advertising in the internet age is a quantum leap compared to what Seymour was doing back in the early 30s and 40s. Or no, you said 80s. Is that right? 80s.
Hey, Seymour came up with that original Burma shave, 3 signs. So that's something.
So funny.
But the amount of experience he has under his belt is truly captivating. No, so I want to talk about a few things today. And number one is the difference between what it was like advertising, in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s versus what it's like today. And what we have the ability to do and the speed at which we can do it is just extraordinary. So whereas Seymour was saying, back in the 80s, you would have to spend, months developing a concept, developing an idea, getting it to execution, and then delivering that through to various channels in different markets. Today, we have the ability to do that in a couple of days versus a series of months. So the speed at which we can advertise and create different variations of advertisement is just it's just changed the way that we can be in the marketplace, engaging with our fans, engaging with new audiences, and driving new traffic. So I recently came back on board in September of 2022, having had worked with Seymour back in the Think Charger days when we were running Facebook ads back then, and a lot has changed, but a lot has stayed the same. So our ability now to be able to acquire customers. And a lot of you who are either in business or business adjacent or have heard this idea that it's much cheaper to keep a customer than it is to acquire a new customer. And that was true then. That was true in the 80s and 90s, and it's still true today. So what my job is to be able to invite people to come check out MAGFAST and drive down the cost that it takes to get a new person to come see us and check us out and fall in love with us, and then keep that person by giving them incredible experiences, following up with them, giving them an opportunity to check out different products. And so as we've moved into this new production of Lux, and we have all of these amazing products, my job gets easier and easier because we can come up with very innovative advertising campaigns that gets a MAGFAST Lux into people's hands and helps them to fall in love with a small product that they've paid a small amount for that costs us a lot less to get them in the door. And now they're going, oh, wow, this is real. This is amazing. This is truly a transformational product. I want to either go pre-order some more of MAGFAST products now that I know they've got this incredible intellectual property. They've got these gorgeous designs and design patents. And so that we can now move them through a what we call a customer journey, where we're offering them a great product and then offering them more and more products over time, and even potentially to become investors in the company. So these are kind of the tiers of which we've been able to dramatically improve our cost per customer acquisition, which is the amount of dollars it takes to get a new customer buying from us, all the way to our average order value, which is how much people actually order from us today and then over the lifetime of that customer.
Yeah, let's talk about CAC, cost of customer acquisition. It's a bit of an industry term, but it's basically,
That's right.
If someone isn't a customer, on average, how much does it cost in advertising to get them, to come and check you out and buy something? It's no great secret that it's typically the more expensive the item, the more it costs to acquire a customer.
Right.
So one of the big direct categories online recently has been mattresses, right? So you buy mattresses directly from companies. What's a mattress? $900, $1,500 in that kind of range. So they're less than they would be in the store, but they're still expensive. So cost of customer acquisition for those guys is often in the many hundreds of dollars, because it's kind of expensive to persuade someone to part with $1,000.
Right.
Furthermore, typically you don't get to sell a mattress very often, right? You get to sell people a mattress every 10 or 15 years. Whereas when we were only offering the chargers in a pro kit, it was kind of expensive to get people in because the average order value was $400 or $500. And so it was when we started out, it cost less than $100 to acquire a customer, but it's creeping up and up and up and up and up, and just getting worse and worse. And we described previously the changes in Facebook over the last couple of years that made it even harder and more expensive. So that's why, and I just want to underline what Michael was saying just now, that's why Lux is so very important, because it's pretty easy to decide to, it's not that big a splurge. $37 on a cable. It's at the premium end. It's a premium price for a cable, but I mean, $37 is like lunch for two or something. And not even a particularly expensive lunch for two.
Yeah, and for what you're getting, it's a good price as well, because Lux is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, no, indeed. I mean, we have 4.9 stars over at Amazon, and people are very quick, even if they're holding a good product in their hand, they're very quick to knock off stars if they think the value isn't there.
Right.
So the fact that the fact that it's 4.9 means not only is it great, but that people also think that it's good value. So that's the thing.
Exactly right.
So Mikey, I mean, without giving the whole game away, we were in the low hundreds to acquire customers. It was too high, but we were. What kind of changes have we been able to make by moving to Lux?
That's exactly right. So, in the couple $100s to acquire a new customer range is where we've been in the past, and we've seen those costs creep up over time as digital marketing inventory gets more expensive. But now with Lux, we were able to drive those costs down significantly. So whereas we were spending $200-300 to acquire a customer, now we're able to spend $10 or $15 to acquire a customer, and it just changes the entire business model. And we didn't have this opportunity before, but now we're able to do that. And so we've seen this dramatic shift in our ability to bring in new customers, to get new customers engaged and excited about MAGFAST, and then make them offers for higher end Hello Kits, etc. So what we're seeing right now is not only a dramatic shift in the way that we advertise to people online, but a truly transformational shift in how the cost to acquire customers. Seymour was saying earlier, CAC, which is the cost to acquire customers. So we've just seen a dramatic improvement and change in a very short period of time.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, the average order value when people come in to buy Lux is less. We're working on that. We've kind of got it up 50, 100%, I think, with various changes that we've made over the last few weeks. So it's a smaller order value, it's a smaller number of dollars, but a way, way, way smaller amount of dollars to get people in. And not everybody who spends 20, 30, 50, 40, 60, 70, 100, 120. We're seeing customers coming in and just spending $230 on Lux sometimes. But not everybody who comes in to buy Lux will then go on to buy other things. But we've got them in the family. We're able to invite them to events like this. and it's really a very, very exciting change. And as a result of this, we're going to have tens of thousands of people more that we're going to be able to invite along to March the 30th as a result of Michael's work over the last few months. So we're super, super excited about that. I think it's probably time we put another secret word up. We call it the secret word. It's not that much of a secret. We write it on the screen. We say it out loud. What is it? What is it, Kate?
Okay, so February 11th, secret word number 2 is trip. Trip, because you could win the trip of a lifetime.
Are you going on one, Kate? The way so it's TRIP, trip.
I wish.
Magfast.com/we love travel. Magfast.com/we love travel, and get yourself yet another chance to win $250,000 air miles.
That's crazy.
So let's spend a few more minutes with Mikey talking about talking about advertising. We'll just we'll maybe do another 5 minutes and then wrap things up. So Mikey, just explain to us what there's an awful lot of ads running online. We did a presentation, didn't we, a few months ago, where we showed that the average amount that people scroll in a day is the height of the height of the Empire State Building. Right?
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. It is Statue of Liberty. Yeah. So the height of a Statue of Liberty, if you take your phone and scroll as if you were scrolling through Facebook, that's the average amount that people scroll every single day, which is
that means some people scroll more than that, which is crazy.
Yes. I mean,
but there's a program, and we're going to be able to get you help for that. I promise.
Yeah, I mean, my 17-year-old daughter probably scrolls more than me, but if we take the average of those two, we're somewhere in the range of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So that's the amount of scrolling. So how do we stand out? What do we do to get noticed in that melee?
That's right. So what we need to do in order to be successful at grabbing people's attention is to capture and engage people within the very first few seconds of them seeing a particular ad. So we have ads that are funny, exciting, surprising, interesting, and we're able. And again, going back to Seymour's statement earlier, whereas it used to take months and months and months, now we can come up with an idea, put that idea into production and execution. You can't really see my entire office here, but we've got a whole area where we shoot unboxing videos, and we create different types of exciting videos that we're able to launch. And we can do that in just a couple of days. So the fact that we're always creating new video content, we can do it quickly here just from the home office and be able to get those out into the world in just a few days and capture people's attention and stop them from scrolling and go, wait a second, what is that? That's where we really are able to stand out, because in the past, you'd be up against, huge brands to get airtime. And we'd have to spend the same amount of money as a Coca-Cola spends, or a Pepsi, or an Anheuser-Busch. And in today's environment, all of these social media companies are incredibly passionate about keeping their users on their platform. They don't want to lose people because there's all these ads and there's all these things that they're not interested in. But when you create ads that are engaging and fun on social media, the different companies like Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Google, they pull the cost to advertise down the more interesting and engaging that your ads are. So we're able to compete in a global marketplace against massive brands just by being original, by being engaging and really sharing the things that make us special. And so as Steve was sharing earlier, without this great intellectual property, we don't stand out from a Belkin or an Anchor. Without Seymour and his engaging passion for design and for sharing these incredible products, we're able to utilize those assets, drive our costs down so we can compete against massive brands economically and efficiently. And that's really what allows us to be able to play a big game with the big boys and girls while being a smaller company in our growth phase. Nicely
put. Thank you, Michael. Michael is not available to work for others because he's absolutely flat. Because I mean, this really is
This is my
yeah, I mean,
full-time
like
gig, so
right. I mean,
I'm all
really,
in here.
yeah. I mean, and one of the things, the thing is, whenever we do a share offering, as we're doing at the moment, we never know quite how many folks are going to jump in. But as we get more capital into the company, growing the team and building out our digital marketing team, giving Michael works not completely solo, but he has a digital assist from actually behind you. Your son actually is a part-time, actually full-time.
Oh,
I
he's
think,
full-time.
trainee.
Yeah,
Right?
he's full-time with us. Yeah.
Cyrus works full-time, makes and shoots ads. There are various other members of the marketing team, but growing and expanding and evolving that team is a critical thing. All right, so we this I think has been fascinating, but I want to wrap up quickly. We said we would just summarize the investment situation. Currently 4,676 investors who've joined us kind of over the last couple of years and have chosen to invest in MAGFAST. It's been possible to invest in MAGFAST, I think, actually continuously since last November. We had a little period during which we had some special perks back then, including, do I have it here? The gorgeous, put the packaging up on screen if you've got it there, Philip. If not, the gorgeous Persian red limited edition MAGFAST Lux,
Beautiful.
which is now on its way and due to be in your hands, I think, towards the end of March. And there's the packaging. This is just we ran this the last couple of days, but there's Nancy from our team
Beautiful.
at the printers, checking out the exclusive packaging for limited edition there, and it just looks fantastic.
I
Thank
love
you, Philip.
this. I don't get tired of
Isn't that
this
great?
video. It's
No, I know. And Nancy, by the way, is she's it's a silent film, but she's an incredible individual. She's one of those people that kind of like the meeting starts and it's like on fire. She's just someone who just brings this incredible energy to the work. So we love Nancy. Anyway, so that was great. For this round, we are going to offer. Here we go. Oh,
This is incredible.
hang on. My thing jumped quickly. Right. So if you're able to, if it's appropriate for you to invest $1,000 or more, starting this Tuesday, Valentine's Day, everybody, February 14th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. If it works for you, only if it works for you, only if it's appropriate, only if it's money you can afford to lose. If it works for you to invest $1,000 or more at that time, we will get you in a few months this exclusive limited edition MAGFAST Air, designed, patented MAGFAST Air in piano black. It's the first time we've ever done a black product. Beautiful piano black. You can see the kind of the logo up there at the top.
Yeah.
Just great, huh?
Yeah.
And I love the white box. It makes it pop so much. It looks amazing. Y'all did such a great job. And then Philip did a freaking great job making that whole picture also.
Yep. Philip does all he's running the show for us at the moment. Thank you, Philip, along with Amy and Tony. And he does these beautiful graphics for us. And if $2,000 is your level, you get limited edition black and limited edition white.
Ooh.
Right, both of them in their individual packaging, and then both of those will come in a boxed set, which is just going to be, you can see, absolutely gorgeous. And the whole thing starts, as we said, February the 2nd. Here's the shipping timeline. We think we're going to have these
the
in your
14th.
hand.
Yeah, February 14th, not February 2nd.
What did I say?
You said the
February
2nd.
2nd.
I do apologize. Yeah, so it kicks off on Valentine's Day, February 14th at 9 Pacific,
Yes.
12 noon Eastern. Shipping on these, we're pretty confident. Of course, global supply chains, yada yada yada, but we're pretty confident end of June, beginning of July to get these limited editions into your hands. And I know the big question, we have folks from an earlier offering who are waiting to get limited edition white. The answer for you guys, I know the question that's on your mind, and the answer is yes, you will, if you invest $1,000 or more to get the black, yes, you will get the black and the white together in the boxed set. It's the least we can do for you after being so patient waiting. If you were in previously to get a limited edition white, this is so previously an investor getting a limited edition white, and you come back in for another 1,000 or more to get limited edition black, provided you do it with the sort of same name, same email, same net capital account. As long as we can put them together, as long as we can see that it's the same person, all right, then we will put them together into the box set for you. Pretty great, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Very good.
Yep.
Good job, guys.
Just running through the other stuff super quick. It's all governed by the SEC, which severely limits. They limit the amount of shares that we're allowed to offer, and other equities. All the details of the equities are going to be on the Net Capital site. And so, because of that limitation, we're asking folks on the first day when we open for this, maximum investment of $5,000. We're not able to enforce that technologically or legally, but it is a from the heart request on the honor system. If you would limit investments to $5,000 on the first day, so we can get in as many people as possible, please. After that, if there's still room left, then knock yourself out. But we have sold out kind of several times in the past doing this. So we wanted to just try and give as many folks as possible a chance to get in case it gets busy on Tuesday, which I think it will. Only do this if it's right for you, okay? Only do this if it's right for you. If you have a financial advisor, talk to them about it. This should only, if you have a portfolio, this would be from your kind of high risk allocation, okay? Small companies kind of higher risk, but if it is right for you, we'd love to have you join us. And as we've done the last couple of days, when we leave today, we'll have Philip play you a little video of some of the folks who've invested us in the past who feel who've recorded a video of how good they feel about it. Anything else I need to say here, Kate? We should have folks go to if you don't already have a Net Capital account, Kate, they set it up at it's at Net Capital, but we have a shortcut, right, which is
magfast.com/setup, and that will take you right to create your Net Capital account. And just a reminder, we have a concierge page on our website. You can go there to watch a video on how to set up your Net Capital account, how to update your account if you already have an account with Net Capital, and then it also will take you through how to invest as well. So lots of good videos. Yeah, magfast.com/concierge.
I'm glad Philip put that up because if you're like, could put that back up if you can, please, Philip. Because if you're like most people, you don't know how to spell concierge.
Yes. Well, also we've sent emails, and I think we've sent a link in the emails, right? So you can just go to your email and click the link. You don't have to type anything in. And it also has the replays for Thursdays and Fridays show that we did. And what else?
You know what? We're keeping today's show and Friday's show just kind of elsewhere online because all of the kind of meat to do with the offering was contained in Thursday's show. So we're just keeping that one to keep the page as simple as possible. But yeah, magfast.com/concierge. Just click on the links in your emails and text messages, and I think that's just about it. Is there anything that I've just said? Because we have like you and I've been here the last couple of days, Kate, but we've got Michael and Steve. Is there anything I've just said that needs clarification, or is that all reasonably clear?
It's pretty clear to me, other than, being able to spell concierge. I just don't. Just no good at it.
Kate, you had your hand up.
Yes, I was going to say we have the third word, February 11th, secret word 3. Oh, does anyone hear that? Oh, is that Steve?
That was weird.
Bit of funny noise on the line. But so you were just saying we have a third secret word. It's on the screen now, Kate. Yes.
Yes, it's on the screen, and the secret word is passion. Passion.
The secret word is passion.
Yes.
All right.
magfast.com/we-love-travel. Go enter the secret words. There's words from Thursday, Friday, today, get you entries into the drawing on March 30th. Big event, March 30th. Everyone write that down in your calendar, and you could win 250,000 flight miles.
Woo, brilliant. That I think is just about it. We had a technically reasonably good day today, although there was a little bit of interference noise coming in at the end there. We will go and examine how that came about and see if we can avoid it next time. But listen, thanks for being with us. Thanks for being with us today. What is it? You're pointing down, Kate. Is it you know what the source of the noise is, do you?
Steve Barnes.
It's like an angry Brady Bunch accusing me in here.
Sorry, Steve. We forgive him because he's part of the heart and soul of this entire operation. Has been from the beginning. You know, there was before we launched MAGFAST, after the old company kind of ran out of money, and we had this what I call the long cold winter when we wanted to see if we could get started again. Steve was there working for free to help us get back up and running again, and I will forever be indebted to you for that, my friend. All right, that's it for today. Stay with us. We're going to run a couple of films for you now. Philip's going to run a couple of films for you now. Meet some of our other investors. Take another look at the gorgeous piano black MAGFAST Air, and have a wonderful weekend. And we will see you Tuesday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye.
This is the all-new Investors Limited Edition MAGFAST Air in premium piano black. Beautiful glossy contours enclose a powerful dual-coil, Qi-certified premium wireless charging system for all your Android, Apple, and other devices. Place one horizontally or vertically, and instantly our induction system communicates with it to maximize power delivery and ensure a safe, fast charge. Designed for lifetime durability and fun, this stand doesn't fold down or flip out. It snaps firmly, magnetically, and fast. MAGFAST, both onto the back for simple storage and underneath to stand on your desk or countertop. Air's precision geometry is calibrated to position your devices at a perfect 69-degree viewing angle to maximize your productivity. By now, you already have many micro USB cables like this, but the future is USB-C like this, so Air accepts either when you want to power it by itself. And of course, we plant a tree for every MAGFAST charger. Available neither in stores nor online, numbered limited edition Air in piano black is available only for a limited time as your gift when you'll invest $1,000 or more in MAGFAST. Invest $2,000 and you'll receive both piano black and alpine white limited editions in this beautiful boxed set. Visit invest.magfast.com now and invest in MAGFAST.
Invested in MAGFAST because I loved the products themselves. They're absolutely stunning.
I believe in your product and I believe in all of the work that you've done.
I saw it and I can see your vision, I can see your creativity, and that inspired me to want to create and invest in your company.
You guys are ahead of your time for portable power. You guys are the way of the future.
Seymour is so honest with all of us.
There's been nothing but decent, ongoing, and consistent communication.
It is just the most amazing operation I have ever experienced.
I trust and believe that the company will make the right decisions that will not only benefit the company, but also the consumer investors like me.
I am fully committed, and I really believe that this is going to be an amazing product.
And we're both so very excited to be part of the MAGFAST family. Thank you, Seymour, Kate, and your whole team for everything you do.
I've invested twice now, and I will invest again given the opportunity.
I'm looking forward to what MAGFAST is going to do in the future. I'm so glad that I'm an investor.